So out of all the ministry that you've done and places that God has taken you, if you could have done one thing differently, what would it have been?
I don't have any big regrets. Like I would have done it differently. In an ideal world, I would have spent more time with my family, but that's that part of the call, right? I mean, Jesus,
Right.
and when Jesus outlines the call, he says that's kind of part of it. You say goodbye to them. Um, you don't sacrifice them, because I think if you're a good Christian, you're still a good father and good husband. But it's just been hard. It's been hard on my family. I've been gone as much. There were some years where I was gone more than I was home,
Mm.
but that wasn't a long period of time. And all but one of my kids had forgiven me for that. My wife has been fine with that. She understood.
Well, she didn't want to
So
marry you to begin with, so that wasn't a
right,
big problem.
right.
Uh, so what are
You're
your
a good
hobbies?
listener. You're a good listener, Travis.
So I mean, you've done all this stuff. Now you're farming, you're selling flowers, not
Mhm.
planning on making music, planning on studying and teaching this stuff. Your heartbeat seems to be like it's always been, is it's been being a student of the Bible. That's
Yeah.
something that I
Right.
wish more singers and artists were of.
Well, that's where the songs always came from. I got excited about an idea, and it sort of resonated as a song. Gloria Gaither, for a long time, people have asked me to come to these seminars where people teach people to write songs, and I go, I can't do that. How do you teach someone, to write a song? That makes, And so finally, I didn't talk to her. We were emailing back and forth the other day. I have a lot of respect for Bill and Gloria Gaither, and she said, "Would you like to be a part of this?" And I finally said, "Okay, this is what I can do. I can help people learn how to engage with Scripture and find those nuggets that are worth writing songs about. I can do that, but I can't teach somebody how to write a song. I don't know how to write a song." So that looks like that I talked myself into a gig with the Gloria Gaither, which is not too bad.
So, I mean, you just said that you didn't. I mean, were you ever trained as a musician?
No, but I grew up in Nashville, and I grew up playing.
It's like
Everyone
in
in
the
my
water.
family was a performing musician. All of my friends were musicians. Music was just my world. But no, I never studied music.
Is your family? I mean, what brought them to Nashville from the beginning? Or was it just that Nashville grew up
Well,
around them?
my dad was from Nashville. My dad was a doctor, but he played trombone in a big band jazz. So he was a Tommy Dorsey, Duke Ellington guy. My
Hmm.
mother was a violinist in college. She toured with a string quartet in Texas. So she was a musician. My sister is a classical organist, and my brother plays bluegrass music. And then I was the youngest. So basically I grew up in this world where all this was happening. My dad's jazz band would practice in our basement every couple of weeks. And so I grew up listening to that horrible music. Lot of cigarette smoke and gin drinking involved, in big band music. Not kind of the opposite of my world, but anyway. But then all my friends, my friends growing up were Earl Scruggs, the banjo player Earl Scruggs.
Hmm.
Well, his son Steve was one of my best friends growing up, and later on, his older son Randy got me in the music business. He's the first person I ever made music with was Randy Scruggs. So all my friends were musicians. You just couldn't get away from it. You couldn't get
Mm.
away from it.
So it's just it's what you've
Yep.
grown up in. You can't.
We
It's
didn't we didn't
inevitable.
play kickball after school. We played bluegrass, or we had a '50s band called Bubba and the Stingrays. We played '50s music or whatever. We always played music. Yeah.
What's your favorite music? Do you have one genre that you really go
Bluegrass.
back? Bluegrass still?
Bluegrass is what, yeah, I'm most drawn to. I love bluegrass music.